Hey everyone, welcome to Brick Vault. My name's Jack, and today we've got a collection review that we've been working on getting these minifigs for a really long time. We've got every single Lego Indiana Jones minifigure ever made, so that's not just the character Indiana Jones, but all the characters from all the sets. I've got them ordered from Raiders of the Lost Ark all the way down to that Crystal Skull movie. So I'm pretty stoked about this. Let's get through it. I'm gonna go through all of the characters, all the sets, and how much they're worth. So let's get started. Okay, so jumping right into the collection, let's start off in 2008 with the very first, scene in all of the Indiana Jones movies. This is Temple Escape from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Included were 6 minifigs, so here is Indiana Jones, and he's got all the detailing that I think you could want for this minifig. You can see his leather jacket with a ruffled shirt, even some reflective printing to show the zipper, and then of course the 2 sets of belts with his holster on the legs, and he comes with a satchel, whip, and pistol. Anyways, the Indiana Jones minifigure is about $7. Such an awesome set with some really cool characters. This is his other guide. Satipo is exclusive to this set, and he is that character that sort of receives the instant karma, if you will. Good printing that makes up that chest piece, though. I believe that is exclusive, and he's got sort of just the ruffled hair, which is pretty appropriate for the character. The exclusivity of his torso piece makes him around $9 because he only came out in this set. And here's another villain. We have Brene. One thing I love about this entire Indiana Jones themes is that the characters have some really nice expressions, and Brene is one of the great examples of that. He really does look like a sneering evil villain. He's about $7, but I really do like that safari hat that he's got on his head. Now there's Jacques the pilot, who of course was fishing at the beginning of the scene when he's got to sort of start the engine really fast. They even included air pirates on the back of his shirt, which is a really nice touch. Also, it says Jacques on the front. And other than that, he's got a pretty standard rest of his body, and he sells for around $5. Technically, this set also came with a couple of skeletons, but they're not exclusive Indiana Jones figs. Let's move on to the next scene, or the next set really, and it's hard to argue which one of these scenes is the most famous from the movies. They're all just so iconic. This is Ambush in Cairo. So Indiana Jones is now wearing a tan shirt with the same leg piece, but because that torso piece is exclusive to the set, he comes at $9, and here is his rival that he stands off against, probably one of the most famous Harrison Ford scenes. And the Cairo swordsman's got some great printing for the robes around the chest. Considering the year it came out, I think this looks a lot better than the Jedi robe printing that was coming out at the same time. He's also got the turban on his head and a gigantic saber, but the prints on his body must not be exclusive. He's around $4. Now here's another sort of Cairo thug. He's got very simple robe detailing on the white body with just a tan sash that goes around, and you might be able to recognize the mask that goes around his face. He is around $6, and this is who he is trying to capture. This is Marion Ravenwood. She's wearing the exact same outfit from this scene. Great detailing that makes up the stitch working across the front, but I think the most notable detail about this fig is the blue eyes. All of the sort of love interests within the Indiana Jones themed characters for the female figs, they all have blue eyes. That's something that pretty much you don't see in other themes, and it's a kind of subtle detail to notice. New, she goes for $4, and let's move on to the next scene. This airplane mechanic came from the set Fight on the Flying Wing, where we get a few new minifigs. This guy is, he's got the classic sort of muscle man shirtless look to him, and if you remember that minifigure, it's almost like they could have used a big fig for this guy. Anyways, he comes with a wrench, very appropriately, and that somewhat generic mustache face actually fits really well with this character. New, he is $9, and here is the other fig for Marion. She's just wearing a different sort of white lacy blouse thing. She actually came out in 2 sets. She also came out in the Lost Tomb set, and the single smiling expression there is actually exclusive just to this fig. The other Marion fig didn't have it. She clocks in at around $4, and this is a German soldier that was also included. There's a lot of German soldier figs. He's also got his pilot's cap on, and at the moment he's actually pretty expensive, surprisingly enough. He's $8. Now the last minifigs for Raiders of the Lost Ark. Sorry if I'm jumping around out of order from the actual movie, but the last figs are all these 3 German soldiers here. Their bodies are all the same. They've got sort of their desert garb. It looks pretty good in the light tan, actually. Some of them came with weapons, and they just have different expressions. As far as I can tell, they each go for roughly $6, and let's move on to the second film, Temple of Doom. These minifigs came from the set Shanghai Chase, which is basically the opening scene for the movie. Would have been kind of cool to see maybe an interior of the club. But anyways, this is Indiana Jones when he's sort of dressed up all stylish. He's got the white jacket with the black vest, bow tie. He's looking pretty suave. He comes with a gun, probably some of the last minifigs LEGO produced that actually came with pistols. But anyways, he's $12 being exclusive to the set. And also exclusive to the set is Willie Scott, at least in this outfit. Excellent printing, probably the best printing out of any of the minifigs for all of Indiana Jones, I'm gonna say. The hairpiece is wonderful. It also comes with the trans red sort of tiara. She has big red lips for her mouth, and of course you can see again blue eyes. She's $8, and here are our Shanghai Gangsters. They look like a suave pair of villains with the all black and the black fedoras and the white ties. Once again, very expressive faces. I like both of them a lot. They're each around $8 as well. And the last minifig here, also a very main character, Short Round. The expression on his face I don't think looks quite as good, but he does have some nice printing that makes up the torso piece. He comes with a baseball cap, and I think he's roughly a $6 fig. Now, the only other Temple of Doom set was the Temple of Doom. That's the name of the set, and this is Indiana Jones from there. He's called Indiana Jones Open Shirt. You can see the chest is buttoned down a bit, and he's also just straight up missing one of his sleeves. He's got a sneering grin on his face. He's around $10, and yet again we have another bedazzled Willie Scott. Her hairpiece has changed to a little bit more of a common one for this era. Great printing all around though, and she's actually $12, one of the more expensive Indiana Jones figs. But actually when we get to Mola Ram, he really takes the cake. He's about $25, but he's got some excellent printing to go along with them. The torso piece shows the different teeth and sort of bits of bone and stuff around his neck, but I think the best part is the mold that goes around his head. It's the horned skull, and if you take a close look, the shriveled head that is supposed to be on the front is actually a tiny minifigure head. Really great bit of detailing there, and I wonder why LEGO didn't make a beating heart accessory for this minifig's hand. Just kidding. Anyways, here are the last two guys. They are simply known as Temple Guard 1 and Temple Guard 2, but the figs are pretty much totally different. The faces have totally different prints. One of these guys here is the one that has the chain that is whipping the children. Geez, this is a pretty dark movie. And the other guy has the really intimidating face paint print. The one with the red face is about $15, $16, while Temple Guard 2, the shirtless guy, is closer to $8. With just two sets for the Temple of Doom movie, I thought they hit the nose on the head pretty well with the characters. But let's move on to movie number 3 with The Last Crusade. The first fig here is Henry Jones Sr., or Sean Connery. He appeared in a couple of sets in the Fighter Plane Attack set. He's got himself a briefcase and a map. Great printing that makes up the front of that torso. Really excellent stuff. And also a lot of detail is included for the print on the face. This is one of the few times that the character from the movie, Sean Connery, actually does have a pretty good resemblance with his minifig. In the motorcycle chase set specifically, there was also another German soldier included. He's just got a black riding cap and also came with a pistol. But the last set that came out for this film is so awesome. It's called the Venice Canal chase. Such a cool part of the movie. And we've got Indiana Jones in another suit, or just a regular gray suit with a tie. He's actually a pretty standard looking minifig all around. He comes in at just around $7, I think. And here is another protagonist, well, at least protagonist at the time, Elsa Schneider. She's got that nice pinstripe detailing on the torso piece. A couple of good expressions, once again, blue eyes and blonde hair that goes over the shoulder. She's about $6. And here are the last two guys. We've got Kazim and another Grail Guardian. Kazim can be distinguished just from the facial hair on the face, not even the eyes, I don't think. And he's got the sort of handlebar mustache that goes down, while the other Grail Guardian has more of a goatee thing going on. Nice matching gray suits with the pinstripes and the fezzes. I think Kazim came with a Tommy gun, and the Grail Guard also has a pistol. Each one of these guys goes for around $4, and let's move up to the fourth movie. There's a lot of minifigs for this film because all these sets were released sort of in conjunction with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull release. So jumping right into it, there isn't really a brand new Indiana Jones minifigure, though this guy came out in the Chachuia Cemetery battle, and it's pretty much the exact same as the original Indiana Jones fig, except his expression is just a little different. It's actually the exact same expression as the nearly shirtless fig from Temple of Doom. Anyways, technically that makes it a different release. He also came with this skull piece, which is by far the coolest mold that came from any of these Indiana Jones sets. He is $9, and Mutt Williams, Shia Labeouf's character, is also in the set. He's got decent enough detailing that make up a biker jacket. He comes with a shovel, and he's one of the cheapest figs, coming in at around $3. Also, two cemetery furry warriors came in the set. They are exactly the same fig. The different prints on their face make it so that you can look like two different figures. One has a skull mask and the other one just a very serious face. They also came with blowguns, around $5, and the set also did have this skeleton with armor. Came with a little helmet, and he's also about $3. Though none of the parts on this guy are actually exclusive to Indiana Jones. Now let's move on to the biggest set of the entire release. This is the Temple of the Crystal Skull. It came with 10 minifigs in total. The first one we're looking at here is Irana Spalko, pretty much the main antagonist of the story. She came out in a bunch of sets, so actually she's pretty much the most common of any of the Indiana Jones figures out there. She's like $250, but she also came with this sword. I do like the printing on her body though. It is relatively simple, and that actually looks all right. The set also came with one of these Russian guards, specifically the guy with the sneering face. He's about $5, and then 2 Uga warriors. I think that's what they're called. They're actually pretty cool figs. They're pretty much guys just in like loincloths. They have some tattoos on their bodies as well as toothed necklaces. The only difference really is the accessory that they hold in their hand, and one guy comes with hair while the other one is bald. Also $5 each, and this is the Couture Skeleton. Hope I said that right. I only saw this movie like once a long time ago, but it's a standard skeleton body with that great skull mold put on the top of it. He's $3. And also the set came with another skeleton, almost exactly the same as the one we saw before with the armor, except the armor piece is made of a slightly different plastic. That's the only difference. The Peril in Peru set gave us Colonel Dovchenko, who has decent printing for the body, but seriously some of the most evil printing for an expression I've ever seen on a minifig. I also think it's slightly more disturbing that they made his eyebrows sort of the same color as the rest of his body. He is around $8, and the same set produced a pilot fig, who despite looks like a very standard kind of figure, has a little bit of extra printing on the suit. I think that's what makes him a little bit different. And oddly enough, I think people just can't find a good version of this guy. Brand new, he is close to $15. Now we're just rounding up the last couple of figs here for the whole collection in this last set here, River Chase. We've got Marion Ravenwood. She's got the exact same expressions as the other Marion from the other movies, but the print that really makes her unique is the one on her torso. It's kind of just a vest, not really a whole lot else going on for her, and I'd put her at around $4. And the last 2 figs are from this set, and they're both just 2 different kinds of Russian soldiers. One's got a pack, along with that same sneer that we saw before, and the other guy's just got a bit of a smirk. They, just like the other Russian soldiers, are each around $5. And there it is. We just finished the entire Indiana Jones minifigure collection. After going through this entire collection just now doing the VO, I feel like I really want to re-watch all of the original movies again. They are truly some timeless stories, and the action and special effects and things like that do not really get dated. If there was one more minifigure to include for this collection, I would say that I would want one more set to be included specifically for The Last Crusade and the last scene when they're inside the cave with the knight, maybe even getting sort of a melty face guy. I don't know. There could be some cool figs for that set. I think it would be really awesome, and also getting the Holy Grail and stuff like that. Anyways, there it is. That's the collection. Alright, so that is it for this collection review, everyone. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you enjoy our content, you can always like or subscribe. And if you've got any ideas about another collection you want to see us do in the future, let us know in the comment section below. And, well, that's it. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time at Brickball.